Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy back at it again. Welcome. This is the Buffalo Fanatics. I am your host, Rico. If you guys are new to this page, please do not hesitate. Click that subscribe, click that like, show some love, and let's get right into it. This is a channel for the Buffalo Bills, but I know there's some people that are interested to see what the Bills are up to this year because I'm telling you right now, folks, this is a team that is on the rise. We are on the rise, and we got a little money in the bank, and we've got some places to put our money, right? And it's going to start this off season. And this off season is, it's going slowly. We're doing our homework. We're seeing a whole bunch of rookies getting underway in combine. Free agency is just around the corner, not too far from now, and we're going to have to fill some needs. But before we get to those places, before we start filling needs in free agency, let's take care of our own. Who do we retain? Who must we get rid of? Who is a project that we need to see more of? Sam Mazza, you damn right. Back at it again. Here I am. So I promised you guys we're going to do the linebackers, right? And we are. And I'm actually going to combine them. Today's going to be a good show. I'm going to combine. We're going to talk about the linebackers and we're going to talk about the DBs. You guys will be surprised at what we decide to do in free agency and the draft. Because come to think about what we have at linebacker and what we have at DB in the DB room, I think the team might be content with what we have because there are some names that you guys don't know about that could be fairly good assets this coming year. And I'm here to break it down for you. Bing, biggity, bing, your guy's back. If you guys are tuning into this room right now, there's 25 of y'all. Click that smash, click, elbow that bitch, click that like button, show some love to your boy, and let's get right into it. We are going to hit the linebacker room. Yes, we are going to hit the linebacker room. This room is an interesting one because we've got the guys that we already know. And we've got the guys that we know of their names, and we have guys that we have no idea that are on this team. And this is where your boy comes in to try to educate y'all and give you guys a little something for you guys to look into and do some homework. Because there's some guys on this team that you might not know about that you may have to go back and do some homework and say, wait a minute, this guy might be something, right? This is the beautiful thing about knowing and getting to know your team because there's future contracts that were given out and you have no idea who they were. So without further ado, let's get right into it. There are 34 of y'all in this room. That's okay. We're going to let the room pile up. And as we talk, they can get back to the playback and watch this later. We're going to get right into it right away. By the way, shout out to the jersey. This is the Supersonics jersey with the greatest player of all time. Just kidding. One of my favorite players of all time is Shawn Kemp. That's my guy. I always got to give a shout out to Shawn Kemp. All right. So let me fix myself here. Let me fix myself real quick. All right. So let's get into it, man. So the linebacker room. We're going to start with our monster in the middle, and that is Tremaine Edmunds. Tremaine Edmunds, the 6'5", 240 linebacker that runs a 4.5 40. You know what I'm saying? Almost a 4.4 40. So that dude has been a piece in this defense that has gotten better every year, right? And we're going into our third year, and I expect a nice leap, especially being in the third year with the same defense, same head coach, and only getting better and only getting more familiar with your position at inside linebacker. I am pleased with the development of Tremaine Edmunds, and I think he's going to be a big piece of this offense. And I want to give a big shout out to my guy Trey Deuce. Bing, biggity, bing. We got ourselves a new member. That's my guy. I gotta ring that bell for my guy Trey Deuce. What it do, baby? We back at it. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Let me. I'm on my tip right now. We got a new design right now in the BF shop. And if we get 10 new members today, we give them one away. And that's what it is. And guess what? It's a leap year. Today's the 29th. It's the 29th. Guess what? We do another giveaway because every month we do a giveaway for our members. So because you guys are members, we're going to do a giveaway for that. So let's get up to 10 members today. And we're doing a giveaway for tomorrow. I'm gonna announce a winner for tomorrow. So let's just get it going. So Tremaine Edmunds, is he a big piece of this defense? You're damn right. He's the monster in the middle, right? And he's got all the potential in the world. And he's a Pro Bowler. My man made it to the Pro Bowl, so he's got the taste of being a Pro Bowler. So you don't think that makes a difference? That's why everybody does what they do every year to try to get into this thing. Every year we try to do the same thing, right? And that's get to the Pro Bowl, get to the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl, and win the bitch. That's how we do things, man. So by the way, shout out to my guy Trey Dukes. I like it. I like it a lot. So here's the deal. $3.4 million right now. That's fine. We'll take it. That's what he counts towards our cap. And it's well worth it, right? He's a first rounder, and we'll take every moment of it. So Trey Edmonds, project, process, or problem. We all know he's not a problem. He's part of the damn process, and he's going to be a process for a long time. We drafted that boy when he was 19 years of age. Oh, he's going to be a Bill for a damn long time, and I'll be damned if he doesn't become a Bill for a long time. So that's my guy, Trey Edmonds, process, right? Moving on to the next linebacker. Depth. This is a depth guy. This is Corey Thompson, former LSU linebacker, Corey Thompson. Good speed, former safety back in the day. I don't know what this is a theme with McDermott. McDermott doesn't like guys that are just they're pigeonholed to one position. He likes a guy that can move around and do different things or have done different things. And I'm telling you right now, in life, don't pigeonhole yourself, people. Try to do as much as you can, because people will find value in that. You're not just pigeonholed into one thing. You can do multiple things. And this is where a guy like Corey Thompson comes in. He's a depth player, right? He took over when our linebacker Milano got hurt the year before. That's when he came in and did a serviceable job. Not a bad job at all. So got some reps on special teams as well. And the dude can play. He's a former safety, so he can cover and he can run. He can run. So having depth at that position, I like it. Is he going to push for a starter position? I'm sure he will with the loss of Alexander. So Thompson will obviously compete for that position and see if he can get that. So shout out to Thompson, Corey Thompson, depth linebacker. I think he's going to be part of the process this year. If he's fighting for a starting position, then you know what I'm saying. I believe he's going to be part of the process, because if he doesn't get it, he's going to be depth. So process, my guy Corey Thompson. I like that. I like that pick right there. Moving on, and he's only 600 towards the cap. So if we have to cut him, so be it. But I like him at depth because he's nice and cheap, right? He's an inexpensive player. Next on the list is Matt Milano. Matt Milano. I like Matt Milano. Here's another guy. There's another guy that is a tweener, that is a former safety to a linebacker. Oh, snap. We got my girl, Caitlin Blount. What it do, Caitlin? Can't wait for this year to start here and can't wait for this year to start and hear from Rated R Rico. Hey, Rated R Rico, man. Rated R Rico comes out when I'm super excited, or I'm on the opposite end where I'm mad as hell, and I don't give a damn who doesn't like it at all. And some people might not like him, but like, that's not good for my ears, and they can kick rocks. But my girl Caitlin Blount loves the Rated R Rico. I might even drop some Rated R for you today. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to you, Caitlin. I love that. So moving on to Matt Milano. Okay, $2.2 million towards Matt Milano, right? We got $80 million in the bank, $80+ million in the bank. I'm telling you right now, if you guys haven't heard me say it before, I'm going to tell you right now. Do not expect for us to make a big splash. And I know you've heard it before, but I'm here to reiterate it for you guys. Do not expect for us to make a big splash in free agency, because guess what? People that are smart with their money know what they're going to do with their money later on. They're going to invest in the players that make this team, right? Jordan Poyer. We've got Matt Milano that needs to get paid. We got Trey White that needs to get paid. We've got guys on this team that will need to get their money. And if we squander this money on guys this year, we're not going to have this money to retain the players that make this defense what it is, right? So a guy like Matt Milano, you can't go wrong with it. Sideline to sideline run linebacker, great cover linebacker, one of our best cover linebackers on the team. Overall, a good impact player. We can't let guys like him walk away just because we don't want to pay. The days of us not paying our players are long and gone. You make an impact on this team, you deserve to get paid. And that's just the way I look at it, right? Now, he missed some time last year, and we definitely felt the time that he missed, because our defense was humming and buzzing when he was on there. And then when we lost him, it took a dip. And let's keep it real. It did take a dip. So the fact that we got him back, I love it. And that's why we want to keep it that way, right? Mike Shiavi, Rico, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Mike Shiavi, what's going on, my guy? Win or lose, I still love listening to Rated R Rico. My girl, Caitlin Blount. I love it. Colin, cap's supposed to be about 200 mil, so we may have like 93 million. Hey, let's focus on what we got right now, right? And right now, 80, could it creep up to 90 if we have to make some cuts here and there? you know it's gonna happen. We're gonna make some. There's gonna be some cap casualty, so we're gonna have to go that right? Daniel Guaris, what's good, my G? So Matt Milano, process, project, or problem. We all know the boy is a process boy, and he's gonna get paid, and he should, deservedly so. Now, people are gonna say, man, he had a horrible game against the Texans. Man, he was horrible, and he missed that big tackle. I hate to open up the wounds, people. I hate to open up the wounds because it's a wound to open up. But let's keep it real, man. Matt Milano is a damn good linebacker, and sometimes, I mean, we see things, man. Jeff King says, good seeing you, Rico. Been loving your POP shows. You down with the POP? Yeah, you know me. I like it, Jeff King, my G. So long story short, Milano, process. There's no question about it. We're gonna pay him. It's a matter of what we're gonna. I'm actually gonna be very interested in what he gets paid. I'm looking. My man Bobby thinks he's gonna get in the range of $13 million a year. I mean, is it horrible to pay him $13 million? I mean, the way players are getting paid, money's going up. I can see it happening. I could definitely see it happening. And if they don't, I'll question that because of the depth that we have on our team right now. I can't see them not doing it. So keep an eye out for that. Process Matt Milano. Now, here's where things start to get a little interesting with the depth on this team, right? I did a bit of homework here. So, Vosean Joseph, 5th round draft pick from last year out of Florida, got hurt, put on IR, and we never got an opportunity to see him. The one opportunity we did get to see Vosean Joseph was in a preseason game where he had something like 11 tackles, and he was all over the place, which gave us something to say, now we got ourselves a good linebacker at the depth position. Now, the fact that Lorenzo Alexander is now retired, you would assume that Vosean Joseph would slip right into that position and call it a day. Now, here's the deal. You got Lorenzo Alexander that comes with a whole lot of meat on pause. Let me run that back. You got Lorenzo Alexander that comes with he's a big boy, right? Former defensive tackle, then moved to defensive end, then moved back to linebacker. I don't know how the man does it, but that's just what it is. But here's the deal, though. With a guy like that, that's a lot of beef right there. So Vosean comes a little lighter, about 220 pounds, 225 pounds or so. So for him to fill that role and fill that, Lem Brown, you see me pause that. I had to rewind that bitch. I had to pause that bitch. So a guy like Vosean Joseph coming in and trying to, there we go. A guy like Vosean Joseph trying to come in and take over that position, that's going to be tough, man. That's a tough position. But I see a big offseason coming from Vosean Joseph. That boy is fearless. He does not care who you are. He will hit you in the mouth, and he hits hard. And he goes sideline to sideline. So a guy like that on the outside could do well for us, right? His covering is not the greatest, based on the film that I've seen, not the greatest. But I do see some good things coming this year. There's going to be a lot of competition at that outside linebacker position. So Vosean Joseph is going to be competing. Corey Thompson is going to be competing as well. And you never know, we might even bring in some people from free agency, right? And we might even draft a couple guys for the linebacker position. So look for that outside position, the outside linebacker position opposite from Milano to be a coveted position. And Vosean Joseph will be the guy that I look forward to seeing this year very much so. I want to see Vosean Alexander, and I want to see Trey Edmonds. I want to see those three guys on the field. 3 young linebacking core leading the way. How nice is that? We get rid of, I don't want to say get rid. We don't have the age anymore factor. It's about youth and speed. And this is what this defense is going to bring all year round. Listen, man, Tremaine Edmonds ain't no joke. He can smack you in the mouth. Milano will smack you in the mouth, and Vosean Joseph will definitely smack you in the mouth. I'll tell you right now, the theme for the linebacking crew is will smack you in the mouth. Let me get to my next guy. So Vosean Joseph, is he a problem? Is he a process guy, or is he still a project? So that is what the tough one is for me. For me personally, I think he's a process guy. I think he's going to make this team. I think he's going to compete for that outside linebacker position. I think he is a process. Trey Deuce, my guy Trey Deuce says he's a project. You think he needs more time? I can respect that. I could totally see why you'd say he needs more time. I think a lot of people feel that same way as well. So they say Vosean, okay, Vosean is a project. I think he's a process guy. I think he actually does well and makes the team. I think they drafted him for a reason. They want that feisty speed linebacker. I think he's going to be on this team for some time. I think he's going to compete. But I respect the fact that you guys think he's a project. So let me put a little a little asterisk next to Mr. Voshan Joseph's name, right? So right now, if he's a project, I've got Corey Thompson, Milano, and Edmonds so far. All right. So those are the 3 linebackers on this team right now as we speak. So moving on. Tyrell Dotson. Now, a lot of you guys may not know who Tyrell Dotson is, and that's fine. But I went back and tried to dig up some stuff on Tyrell Dotson. Yeah, because I got to do homework. You can't just talk about people you can't talk about people you know nothing about. So Tyrell Dotson was on our team. He's been in the league a couple years now. When we signed him, then he got suspended for a few games for, I think it was not domestic violence. Excuse me. It was for substance abuse, right? So I don't know what he was on. But they found some shit in his system, so they had to suspend him, and then we re-signed him to a futures contract. Now let's talk about Dotson, the player, middle linebacker, inside linebacker, and can run. He can run. Runs a 4.6 40, 4.5, 4.59 40, and has instincts to get after it. And one thing that I love about this guy is he's fearless and he hits like a ton of bricks. That's what we need at this position. So the fact that if we could get a very good competition going at depth for, and it's not even a competition, it's more like depth for Tremaine Edmonds, it'll be nice because right now the only inside linebacker on paper right now is Tremaine Edmonds. So you're going to need someone that's going to back him up. So Tyrell Dotson is going to be one of those guys that's going to be competing to back him up at that position. He comes fast, he hits hard, and he's got a couple years under his belt in the NFL. So the fact that we can have him on this team, and I'd like to see more of him. Was it substance abuse? Thank you, Raphael. It was a substance abuse that he got suspended for. So I look forward to seeing Tyrell Dotson this year. And he had some buzz coming when we signed him. People were very pleased when we signed Tyrell Dotson. So if Tyrell Dotson can make an impact this year as a depth player, I'm all for it. So to me, process, project, or problem, I'm going to say he's a project. He is a project on this team, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of Tyrell Dotson. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is Tyrell Dotson. Last but not least, and this is the one that I'm actually really excited about doing some homework on there, and this is there's a gentleman by the name of Delshawn Phillips. Delshawn Phillips signed to a futures contract, came out of Illinois, and was coached by, wait for it, I don't know if you guys remember this, Hardy Nickerson. Do you guys remember linebacker Hardy Nickerson? Anyway, so defensive coordinator Hardy Nickerson and head coach Lovie Smith, right? So he played under those two gentlemen at the University of Illinois, right? So the fact that he was coached by an NFL and former NFL guys, number one, and senior coming and did all these years in university, and he got a chance to play to learn from NFL guys. So now that he's in the NFL, I think that gives him a little bit of an edge, and I really look forward to seeing what he does. 6'2", 230 pounds, runs a 4.58 40. Boy can run, and not only that, he hits like a ton of. I swear I keep saying this shit, but that's what it is. The boy, it's like they know what they want. They want speed and hit you in the mouth, and that's what they got in Tyrell Dotson and this guy named Delshawn Phillips. However, Delshawn Phillips is at the bottom of the poll right now. So whether he makes this squad or not, it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. But I'm not sleeping on Delshawn Phillips. Delshawn Phillips is a name that I'll be looking forward to this year. This could be absolutely nothing. This could be nothing. This could be just a body in camp. He gets cut and call it a day. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring to the table. 6'2", 230, and runs a 4.5. Bro, I'm looking forward to that big time. And the fact that he's got a bit of experience under a head coach, former head coach, and NFL linebacker, it should only bode well for the Bills with the depth that we have there. By the way, there's 54 people in this room. Shout out to each and every one of y'all. Do me a favor, click that like button, smash that subscribe if you guys are new to this page and you guys don't know who the hell I am. I'm Rico, and I'm representing the Buffalo Fanatics, and we talk about Bills all day, every day. I mean, not every day, but you know how we do. We know how we do. And we get lit during the season. That's for damn sure. So talking on the linebackers, that's what we have, man. So we got Matt Milano, Tremaine Edmonds, Corey Thompson right now as the main guys right now. And then in depth, we got Voshan Joseph, Tyrell Dotson, and Delshawn Phillips. Could we bring in a free agent linebacker, you're damn right. We're going to be definitely looking at bringing in a free agent linebacker. That's for sure. It's just a matter of when we decide. Are we first day guys? Are we going to be signing someone real quick early, or are we going to wait till it kind of dissipates and then we bring in some depth? We're going to find out, and we'll see how that goes. Caitlin Bluff says Lovie Smith should be a head coach in the NFL. I mean, there's a lot of guys that could be head coaches in the NFL because there's some trash coaches out there. Raymond Peterson. What's going on, Raymond? Anybody coming under Lovie Smith is fine with me. I'm good with that, too. I'm telling you, man. Del'Shawn Phillips. Look out for that name, Del'Shawn Phillips. And do yourself a favor. Look him up when we're done here. And then y'all can see. Read up on some stuff. Go online. Check it out. And you'll see what I mean, what I'm talking about. This dude, man. Jeff King says, I want to see a pass rusher first round, not a receiver. Plenty of second round. I'm starting to lean towards that way of going defense first round. And then we'll tail out. But it all depends on what we do in free agency. That's why I don't do any mock drafts. I stay away from mock drafts. I've done those before, and I'm like, man, this is completely bullshit. We doing all this bullshit just to find out, like, this is not happening, and then you wasted your time, right? Now, people do it because they want to learn about these players. I get it. I'll learn later after the free agency. I'll dive in right now. But at this point, I don't touch that stuff. So to me, I'm leaning more defense, but free agency is going to tell us everything. If we go after a guy like Yannick Ngakoue, I don't need to go defensive end, man. We got our defensive end. We pay big money for defensive end. Now maybe I can focus on receiver. You feel what I'm saying? So anyway, that's that. But let me move on. So that's our linebacking crew. So let's touch back, right? So Edmonds, process. Corey Thompson, to me, process. Matt Milano, obviously, process. I thought Voshon Joseph was a process guy, but a lot of you guys feel like he might be a project. So I put a star next to that. And then you got Tyrell Dodson and Deshaun Phillips are both project guys. I'm not going to call them problems yet because we don't have this linebacking core filled out, right? We have a lot of question marks. So we have 3 for sure guys, 2 for sure. If you want to call Corey Thompson a for sure guy, that's 3. And then we got Voshon Joseph that I think is a process, but I put a star next to him. So that's how we're going to round out our linebacking crew, right? So we've got 3 process guys and potentially 2 project guys, and we'll go from there. No problems to me right now. I don't see anybody in cut because I'm going to wait till free agency and all that stuff bang out. All right. So that's done with the linebacking crew. We're going to now move to the DB room. This is interesting. I'm going to tell you right now because once again, there are some names that you guys are not going to be familiar with. Some of you guys will because you guys are pretty much diehard Bills fans. So you guys should know this. Now, we already know we're going to start with the cornerbacks. Cornerbacks, we have our all-pro, pro bowler, Trey White, right? Tre'Davious White, top 3. Well, just to round it out, top 3 corner in the league, right? Really, it was pretty much him and Gilmore as the top names that are out there. And then you can kind of pick out whoever you guys want to end it out, right? But Trey White, no question, he's a process guy. He's a guy that they drafted in the first round. They traded out when we could have had Pat Mahomes, right? When you could have had Pat Mahomes and you trade out and you go for Trey White, you cannot let Trey White walk. That would be a disaster. You let think about it. If we do this would be bonkers to me. We pass up on Pat Mahomes, Super Bowl winning Pat Mahomes, MVP Pat Mahomes, and then we draft Trey White. And then we let Trey White walk. I cannot see that happening. So Trey White, process all over. Everything about him says process. At least unless he says I'm holding out because I want a boatload of money, even though pay him. We got the money right now. You know who you know who you got to pay. You pay a guy like Trey White. Straight up and down. There's no question about it. He's process. That's process all day, every day. So that's my guy, Trey White, right? $3.2 million he's making right now. That's the least he's ever going to make in his entire life because he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid. That's straight up and down. Now, next, moving on. My guy, Teron Johnson. Teron Johnson, slot corner, can play corner, but he's primarily a nickel corner and plays inside. And the boy is fearless. That's one thing that I love about Teron Johnson is that he is fearless. He doesn't care who you are. He's going to hit you. The one problem that I do have with Teron Johnson is my man needs to stay in the damn the gym. My man gets hurt every 4 or 5 games. He's getting nicked. Right? He'll take maybe 6-7 plays off, or he's hurt for a game or 2. Like, we can't have that. I know you you throw your body like you wouldn't believe, and I love every minute about it. I love it. But man, you hit the gym so you can stay healthy, man. We need that. We need you. You make this defense go. You really do. Like at nickel corner, because we primarily, a lot of the times we're in nickel. We are in nickel defense. So we need Teron Johnson on the field. We can't have it changed up. Now, I'm not gonna hate either, because if Teron Johnson's off, it's not like the level of play drops off, because we have some good depth, and which brings me to the next player. Right now, before I get to the next player, 821,000. Shit, that's cheap. That's cheap, boy. We play. Look, that's nothing. That's light work. So the fact that we got Teron Johnson, we're probably gonna have to give him a little something when it comes time to. We can't let that man just walk just like that, right? So, but when he is hurt, this is the way I segue. When he is hurt, we have somebody that comes in and replaces him and does a damn good job, and that is Siran Neal. Siran Neal, they call him Bam, because he'll bam you right in the mouth. And that's another thing, man. That boy he came out of college hitting hard. And that's what he's been doing for us on special teams. To me, he is our special teams ace. They tried to make this whole thing about Robert Foster being our special teams ace. Man, bump all that bullshit, man. That's some trash. The boy can run, but that's it. You feel me? So Siran Neal was the one making plays, making tackles down in the football, and he was all over the place, man. I'm still salty about the Houston game, because there was some blunders that my man Siran Neal was part of. But nonetheless, I'm a big fan of Siran Neal. I'm looking for a big year from him, and the fact that he can play everywhere. He can go corner, he can go slot, and he can go safety. The question is, where do we like him? I like him at safety. I think he'd be a good safety. I think the more time he gets on the field playing all over the place, I think he'll be versatile enough that he can move back to the safety, and I think he could do well there. So I've got Teron Johnson, Trey White, Siran Neal. To me, all three process. There's no question about it. Is process every day. Now, people are now wondering what's going on with the cornerback position, because we got Levi Wallace that is a free agent. Do we plan on bringing him back? I don't know. But I need to let you guys know that I'm a fan of Levi Wallace. I thought he was extremely well. I don't know if he didn't have a great year. That's for sure. He did not have a good year. He was kind of near the end of the season. To me, in my personal opinion, I think he was playing scared. My man was playing scared, man. Like when Trey White is pressed up on his man like a G, you got my man Levi Wallace bailing before the quarterback even says hut. My man is bailing on the play. Like, come on, man. You trust your speed, man. You can run. You played at Bama. You were covering these guys in practice, man, with mad speed. You can't be scared, boy. And that's what typically was happening to Levi Wallace. He was playing scared. You know what I'm saying? So he's an exclusive rights free agent. Thank you, Felix De Leon. So he's an exclusive rights free agent. To me, they have the right to. I mean, they may bring him back, but I'm still. The verdict is still out. And now here's why the verdict is still out, because there's a player that you didn't get a chance to see too much of last year. He's a Buffalo University alum. He goes by the name of Cam Lewis. Cam Lewis from Buffalo University. Go Horns, right? Is that what you got? I can't believe I just did that. Go Horns, right? Cam Lewis, excuse me. That boy is a playmaker. That guy is a ball hawk. He's around the ball. He swarms the ball. And we didn't get a chance to see him because he got hurt last year. He got hurt. So I believe we had to put him on IR, if my memory serves me correct. So I believe him coming back doesn't necessarily make the cornerback position that much of a need. I'm not saying he's locked to being on the opposite end, but I think him coming back and the fact that we liked him and we brought him onto the Bills, I think he could do some good things, man. So Cam Lewis, I'm looking forward to him. I put a little asterisk next to his name because I'm looking forward to seeing Cam Lewis perform this year, this coming year, and I'm looking forward to it. All right, so Cam Lewis will be competing. Now, who will he be competing with? Then you got the likes of Kevin Johnson, former first round Kevin Johnson. We signed him on a 1-year deal, and Kevin Johnson right now is a free agent, but I believe that we may be able to bring him back. It makes sense to bring him back. He's played for McDermott before, and he just needed to get used to being back on the saddle, right? So Cam Lewis being a guy that was hurt and coming back, Kevin Johnson should have this on lock. So it's going to be a three-man competing role for that other cornerback spot with Kevin Johnson, Cam Lewis, and Levi Wallace if they bring Levi Wallace back, right? And then on top of that, we got free agency coming about. We have also the draft coming about. So I don't know if it's looking too good for Levi Wallace, but Kevin Johnson has an edge. Kevin Johnson has an edge. Now, the question is going to be, how much money does Kevin Johnson want, right? Is it going to matter? No, because we got the money. So he can't be asking for a whole lot. But at the end of the day, we're about to find out. And keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. There are some free agents that are out there. I think Josh Norman is one that I would love to have on this team. People are like, oh, man, what are you talking about, Rico? You bugging, bro. I'm not bugging. Hear me out on this, man. Hear me out. Hear me out, and then y'all can rip me if you want to. By the way, there's 71 people in this bitch. Do me a favor. Click that like. Smash that little like button. Show some love to your boy. And if you're new to this page, subscribe, and let's get this thing popping. Let's get this thing started. So, Josh Norman. I bring Josh Norman up because, A, he's played with McDermott before. He's played under McDermott before, right? B, he was released from the Redskins. Now, everybody wants to say, oh, but the Redskins, he got cut from the Redskins and he hasn't been the same player. He's getting beat left, right, center. That's cool. But guess what? The Redskins were getting beat left, right, center. All right, let's keep it a buck here, people. The Redskins weren't nothing to write home about. Now, they had some good defensive pieces, especially in the front seven. But after that, they weren't saying much. And he was part of the problem. I get that part. However, the whole team in general wasn't doing and saying much. Now, having Josh Norman come back to play under a scheme that he's played for, a coach that he's played before, he's already familiar, and he wouldn't be coming in to be cornerback number one. That's the biggest problem that people's, well, he was getting beat left. Okay, fine. He's not the same player, but put him as a cornerback number two, where he doesn't have to face every number one corner. I think he thrives. So you bring a guy like Josh back, and if he has to compete for the spot, let him compete. If he has to be depth, let him be depth. That's what we need. It's not like we've never done it before. Do you remember when we brought Corey Coleman in? We brought in Corey Coleman. I didn't hear everybody say boo. If you guys remember who Corey Coleman is the receiver, speedy receiver that we got from the Giants. They got cut. We brought him onto the team. What did he last? 2 weeks? He lasted 2 weeks, and then we said, peace. You out of here. So I don't want to hear this whole, we shouldn't bring him. If we bring on Josh Norman and he's garbage, then we cut him. He's not going to be asking for a boatload of money because he's not in the position to do so. Let's keep it real, people. We need to fill out the roster. And why not fill out a roster with people that have played for McDermott before? Kevin Johnson being one of them, right? And on top of that, excuse me, did I say Kevin Johnson? Kevin Johnson being one of them, I apologize. But for being a former first rounder, and then Josh Norman being someone that's played for McDermott and did extremely well, was a Pro Bowl type of player when he was under McDermott. So you don't think that little fire is going to come back? You don't think he wants to redeem his name? Come on, man. When we do boo-boo elsewhere, or we don't do something well, or we trashed it up, we want to redeem ourselves. You don't think he's going to want to redeem himself with a coach he's played for before? This is a top 3 defense. A top 3 defense. And we had freaking Levi Wallace on this top 3 defense. I'm not saying Levi Wallace is trash. I'm not. But I'm just saying that it's not going to hurt to bring a Josh Norman in. That's all I'm saying, people. Don't shoot me. I'm just talking the truth. So y'all need to stop bugging and saying he hasn't been the same player. Of course not. This was years ago. He's not the same player, but he's not covering number 1 corners. You know who will? Trey White, the all-pro that we have. Oh, by the way, we have 2 bangers of a safety in the backfield in Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. Did the Redskins have that? No, the hell they didn't. So everybody calm your asses down. If Josh Norman comes to Buffalo, I'm all for it. Bring that ass here, boy. That's the way I look at it. So, not to go off on a tangent, I just have to break that down for y'all. So, Kevin Johnson, I think we'll bring him back. He's part of the process. I think we do bring him back. Levi Wallace is the one person that I say, you know what? I think he's part of the problem. I don't think they're going to bring his ass back. I just don't think so. He can join Robert Foster. And then we'll probably end up trying to draft someone, and then we'll bring someone in from free agency, maybe more than Josh Norman. That's just Andrew Krantz. You see what I'm talking about, boy? Everybody tripping over here, man. Y'all acting like I don't know what I'm talking about. Sounds good to me. Thank you, Joe Nelson. That's the thing. If people just spew things out, but they don't give the depth behind what they're saying. At least I try to give you depth behind what I'm saying. And then we can then have a debate. Kyle Steesberg says Redskins got trash ass Swearinger and Landon Collins. Yes, they did. Kyle Stenberg, yes, they do. And look what the results were. I'm just saying, man. Felix DeLeon says any player with fewer than 3 accrued seasons and an expired contract. If its original team offers him a 1-year contract and the league minimum based on his okay, you're answering someone's question. I hear you. The player cannot negotiate with other teams. Okay, I got you, man. Cardero Lindo, preach. Cardero knows, man. Cardero knows, man. I'm preaching, boy. Anyway, so that being said, we got let's go through the cornerback room again, right? So Trey White, process. Teron Johnson, process. Saron Neal, process, right? Excuse me. Cam Lewis, I personally believe he's a project, but he's going to be pushing. I'm telling you right now, remember this name, Cam Lewis. Cam Lewis will be a name for you guys to remember in camp. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be nice. He is definitely what's making Levi Wallace a guy that we may not even bring back. Levi Wallace, problem. That's just me. Kevin Johnson, process. And then I think we're going to bring in Josh Norman. I bring Josh Norman because I think we're going to sign him and he's going to be part of the process. Now, if he's trash, we'll cut his ass. And that's just what it is. And that's what we're going to leave it at, right? So that is the cornerback room. Now, do we bring in some free agents? You damn right. There's a lot of free agents guys that are out there right now that I'd love to bring in. Like, for instance, I got my thing opened up right now. So free agent corners. We need to talk about the free agent cornerbacks that are out there. So let me get my position going here and we'll get into it with the cornerback that are going to be available that we should be at least looking into. One of them that I'm going to mention right now is Bradbury. I forgot his name. I think I got his first name right, but I could be wrong. So to me, Josh Norman, that's the one guy that I would definitely bring to Buffalo. 32 years of age. He's up there in age, but I don't expect him to be the number one corner. So that's what you guys gotta get that out of your mind first, and then you'll be more open to it to bring him as a depth. Chris Harris is available right now. Jimmy Smith is available. Bradley Roby is potentially available. I like Bradley Roby, man. He was playing hard against the Bills when we played the Denver Broncos. So Bradley Roby is available. Aqib Talib, no thank you. Prince Amukamara, no thank you. Jonathan Joseph, 36 years of age. I'm good. You feel me? Let me see. Do you guys remember Ross Cockrell? I like Ross Cockrell. We drafted him, I think, in the 4th, and then we let him go. That was a surprise cut. I wouldn't mind seeing him come back. James Bradbury. I don't know if you guys know about James Bradbury. He is a former corner of the Panthers that I think would be extremely good with the Buffalo Bills. The problem is he's going to be looking to get number one corner money. So that's like you're looking at like $13 to like $15 million. Are you willing to pay Bradbury that much money when you got to pay Trey White upwards to that amount of money, to $15 to like $18 million? So that's something that we're going to have to really look into. Who we got? Who else we got? Byron Jones. That's another one from the former corner from Dallas. Byron Jones could be a very good addition to the Bills. Having him across from Tre'Davious White would be very interesting. And a guy like Byron Jones might not cost too much. Let me see what his market value. The market value for him is like $14 million. So if you bring a guy 27 years of age and Byron Jones, then I'm all looking forward to looking at James Bradbury if he's looking for like 15 mil. So keep that in mind as well. It's gonna be a fun time to be in free agency right now. So Byron Jones is one of the guys. Who else we got there? And James Bradbury, I like a lot, and I mentioned him already. So it's gonna be fun to see what becomes available this free agent, man. So this free agency. So it's gonna be mad interesting. So we're moving into the safety room, and you guys might be surprised as to what happens and who we have at the safety room and where this may take us in free agency or in the draft. And so I'm going to open up free agency and I'm going to go to the safety room to see what free agent safeties are out there. So let's do this right now. So right now, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, process. No question about it. We're not talking about anything else. Process for those two guys. All right. You got the best tandem, if not top 3 tandem in the league. I think they're the number 1 tandem safety in the league. You got one guy in Jordan Phillips. You got me saying Jordan Phillips. Jordan Poyer that has no fear, that will get into the 8-man box and tackle his ass off and get after the quarterback. They'll send him on a safety blitz. He will do all those things. And then you've got the quarterback of the defense in Micah Hyde that's got everything back, negotiating and telling moving people to move. I remember this play very vividly when I believe he told Kevin Johnson to move over. And he was, I think you guys remember this. I can't remember the game against, but he was like, yo, move your ass, get over here. So he swings Kevin Johnson over. Stop, Rico. What do you say? Stop, Rico. Poyer isn't that great. Mike Trotter, we're going to get to that. Because I got some things to talk about. Okay. That's why I put this Jordan. Anyways, we're going to talk about that. So what I'm trying to say is this: Micah Hyde, quarterback of the defense. Y'all remember that play when he moved that boy over and got him to set up. And then on that very play that he moved his ass over, he got the damn quarterback sack. So my guy, Micah Hyde, quarterback of this defense, no question about it, with only the age of 29. I think he just turned 29. We have him for several more years. So I'm very pleased about that. And Jordan Poyer, they match up well with each other. They match up very well with each other. So those are the 2 safeties that right now are part of the process, because they're going to be part of this team for the foreseeable future as of right now this year. The next safety on the team is Jaquan Johnson, the former Miami University safety. Now, this guy I like a lot, okay? Ball hawk, number 1. He's like a mini baby Ed Reed, and I'm not going to try to gas him too much. But he is around the ball often. Okay. So he's got a ball, he's a ball hawk, and he's a playmaker. If he's around the ball, he's either picking it off or he's making you fumble. That is Jaquan Johnson. And we have this guy on this team right now. Boy, you better stop playing. And every time, if you put the film on, he swarms the ball. He's always about the ball, always around the ball. So look for Jaquan Johnson to be a big asset. Now, let me bring it back, because Jordan Poyer is the name that comes up, okay? So here's the deal. Jordan Poyer, his contract is coming up shortly, right? So before we get into talking about Jordan Poyer, let's look at the free agency room for the safeties out. So Devin McCourty, 33 years of age. I think I'm good with that. I'll pass. Tony Jefferson, I wanted Tony Jefferson when he was leaving Cardinals. I thought he was going to come to the Bills, but he was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go to the damn Baltimore Ravens. So fine. He went to the Baltimore Ravens. You do what you do over there, my G. Excuse me. So the big names that are out there, you've got Clinton Dix, 27 years of age. He's going to be a free agent, unrestricted free agent. Anthony Harris, Carl Joseph is going to be available. So there's going to be some safeties that are out there that we may need to shore up, because we only have 3 safeties on this team. If you want to count Saron Neal as a safety, that's 4. All right. But right now on the roster right now, those are the 3 that we have. Now, I know that we're looking at that Kyle Duggar cat out of in the draft right now. So that could be someone that we add. I know for sure we will be adding safety to this team, whether it's in free agency or in the draft. It's happening because we only have 3 on the team right now. So it's going to be happening right now. Dean Marlowe, that boy's been making this squad all the time, man. And there's a reason they like Dean Marlowe. So could Dean Marlowe be a guy that we start to bring back again? It'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. So when I look at what is available out there, there's not much else. There's not much else in terms of free agency. So we will be looking in the draft, and that is for damn sure. So, which brings me back to Jordan Poyer. We're going to have to pay Jordan Poyer some money. Now, what is he going to be asking for? That's the one question. Do we bring him back, knowing that we're going to be looking into the draft for a safety? Also, we have a Jaquan Johnson that we're grooming to take over. I don't know in my opinion, I don't think we're grooming him to take over Micah Hyde. So either we're bringing him for depth, and that's that. but I can't see us giving a long-term deal to Jordan Poyer and having a quality safety in Jaquan Johnson sitting on the sideline like that. I don't know, man. So the one thing that I'm only talking about the future right now. I'm not talking about right now because obviously that boy is on the squad and he's going to be playing his butt out. But when it comes time to pay, will McDermott open the checkbooks and pay for Poyer? I'm on the fence with this one. I'm not sure because I like Poyer. I like Poyer and Micah Hyde together as a tandem. But Poyer, he has some moments where you're like, oh, Poyer, how'd you miss the tackle? Or Poyer, why aren't you there? Like, you know what I'm saying? But like that goes to a lot of these players. But I'm gonna say this though. When you have your safety the size of Poyer covering these big old tight ends, I don't like that. I don't like that too much because there's a good chance he's gonna lose that battle every single time. But he does so many things that are solid and great. So I'm on the fence with Poyer, man. He's gonna be playing this year, but the question is, will he be back the following year? Are we going to extend Jordan Poyer? Because if we do, we're committing to him. We're committing to him for another 3 or 4 years for sure. So then now, are we making a decision on Micah Hyde? Are we going to let him walk? Is it going to be Jaquan Johnson and Jordan Poyer? Wouldn't you rather Hyde and Johnson instead of Poyer Johnson? I'm just saying, people, keep that in mind, right? And on top of that, I keep seeing this name, this Duger guy out of college, right? So coming into the draft, and they've been talking to this guy. So they're bringing 2 young safeties in, Jaquan Johnson and Duger. I don't know how you pronounce his name. It could be interesting. So I guess my question to you guys now, and it's not about if Poyer is going to be on the squad. We already know he's going to be on the squad. The real question is, do we pay Jordan Poyer big money to be retained with the Bills? How do you guys feel about that? Give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down or the yes or no, right? Do you pay Jordan Phillips? Do you extend him to give him a big contract for him to be retained and extended to be staying with the Bills? I'm looking at the answers now. Mike Trotter says no on Poyer. No, not big money. I think our defensive coaches make our defense players look better than they actually are. Bills Mafia says that. Len Brown says Bills always talking about keeping the team together, but the plan is draft and keep your own players. That is correct. Nyquil Nightmare says pay that man. Buffalo says nah. Nyquil says pay that man. Bills Mafia, no way. Cardero says nope. Oh boy, this one's up and down, people. William Reddick says yes. I say we keep Poyer and Hyde together. Keep that tandem together. I mean, that's the thing, man. If you keep them together as a crew, they work well with each other. They play off one another, which is really good. But you open up the checkbooks for Poyer, you're keeping those guys for a long time, and then you have your Jaquan Johnson and potentially who they draft at corner at safety right now. So it's a good problem to have. Maybe they let them play their contracts out because Poyer's 28 and Micah Hyde is 29. So Micah has 2 years left on his contract, and I think it's 2 years. And Jordan Poyer is coming into his last year of his contract. So they extend him maybe 2 to 3 years. So that brings it to like 31, 32. It's not so bad. And then by then, our guys start coming in and doing well in Jaquan Johnson and Duggar. So that's the way to look at it if they decide to pay these guys. Matthew Lever says chemistry and value. Gotta find the balance. You're absolutely right with that. Chemistry and balance is everything. Chemistry is everything, man. Like you ever see like a good looking dude and the girl that he's with ain't saying much, or vice versa, right? But their chemistry is like this, like they get along so well, and sometimes it happens. It may not be the greatest analogy I'm using right now, but y'all catch the drift, man. When the chemistry is there, nothing else matters, man. Like these two, they work well off of each other, and they get along, and they hang out outside of the locker room, which is legit. So this is what keeps teams together. This is what keeps the backfield together. So I like those two, but I ain't sleeping on Jaquan Johnson, man. That boy, it could make some serious noise. So I'm looking forward to it. And when I look at what's happening in free agency for the safeties, ain't saying much, right? And I didn't get a chance to look at the linebackers, so I'm going to slip back into the linebackers. But before I do, so how do you guys feel about that? So Jaquan Johnson, process. Jordan Poyer, process. Obviously, Micah Hyde, process. And then we're going to look into free agency. We're going to look at drafting some guys. So it's a that room is not filled all the way, but we're going to be adding some talent to that position, because right now Saron Neal plays a bit of a tweener. He's both. So I guess you can say there's four safeties, if you want to call it that. But I mean, that's just the way it is right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the DBs and the safeties all together. We've talked about the linebackers. I'm actually curious to see what linebackers out there are that are worthy enough to actually look into bringing in. Right. So let me go to the linebacker room and see what free agent linebackers are out there. And I'm going to name some names, and you guys let me know how you guys feel. Len Brown says that's true because Poyer had more good plays than bad. Big facts. He did. He had some great plays this year, man. That's why I can't even hate on Poyer, man. He had some bonehead plays here and there, but for the most part, he was always in the positive. He was always doing something well, man. Either getting dirty and deep into the trenches with the big boys on a corner blitz or a safety blitz. Dude was out there, man. So I like it. I like it a lot. William Reddick says Jordan Phillips. Jordan Phillips. I don't know. That's a hard one. Oh, you mean Jordan Poyer? If based the past on the past season, but we have Harris. Okay, you're talking about Jordan Phillips for sure. So you guys are trying to see if you guys want to keep him. Well, go back to the last video, man. We talked about Jordan Phillips at length, and we talked about Harrison Phillips. I'm in the boat of bringing Jordan Phillips back at $6 million a year. If he does, I mean, we'll find out. We'll see. But I did also make a very good point of, if we bring all those guys back on the defensive front, we're just doing the whole dance again with the same people. But those were the same people that we complained about that didn't give us enough in terms of pressure and sacks against the quarterback. So obviously that room has to change. We can't keep the same cats on that team, right? So speaking of that, let's look at linebackers and who's available. So Dante Fowler at 26 years of age, outside linebacker, that would be interesting. I could totally see us taking a look at a guy like Dante Fowler. Alec Ogletree is available. Nigel Bradham. Now, Nigel Bradham is a guy that I would openly bring back with open arms. Come back to Buffalo. We'd love you on the outside. That would be a perfect fit with this type of defense. Mario Addison, former Panther, 32 years of age, though. Do we kick tires on Mario Addison? I don't know. And to me, isn't Dante Fowler 3-4 linebacker? So he's like an end/linebacker. So he's not a true outside linebacker like a Nigel Bradham would be. I'm not too certain, but if you guys know, let me know. John S says, got to keep Rachel Bush out of Poyer's ear, though. She's already been talking about she's already been talking about he made Buffalo's defense what it is. She might be the factor of how much he demands. Yeah, sometimes wifey's got to stay out of that, man. Let me and my agents talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But don't be getting out there. But that's wifey. Wifey has a say. She hears all the things that people say. So she's going to defend her man as she should. You know what I'm saying? So my man does this, my man does that. He needs to get paid. I mean, shit, you need a ride or die girl like that. I feel that. I'm partial to that. I like that. I like that when your girl stands up for you and says, my man deserves money. Yo, you better say it. Terrell Suggs, too old. Michael Kendricks at 29 years of age. That could be a nice little pickup for the Bills in terms of outside linebacker. Shaquille Barrett, 27 years of age. That would be nice. I would love to have that. Damn, Shaquille Barrett's got 20 sacks in his career thus far. He's got 1 interception. Yo, that would be good. See, a guy like Shaquille Barrett, let me see how much money he cost. Damn. So Shaquille Barrett's market value is at $15.7 million. So let's call it $16 million. Y'all ready to pay $16 million for Shaquille Barrett? Let's bring it back a little bit. If we go after Yannick Ngakoue, that man is market value is at $17.1 million. Are we ready to pay $17 million for one guy and another $15 for another? That's a big splash in free agency. It would be huge, but that's a lot of money. I don't know if these guys are ready to pay that because we got a lot of guys that we got to pay on our own team right now. So that will be interesting. But Shaquille Barrett is something to ponder. That's something definitely to ponder. Shaquille Barrett is going to be available. I'm looking at who else is available here. I'm looking down. Wesley Woodyard at 34 years of age. I'm good. Barkevious Mingo is going to be available. That's an interesting one. Barkevious Mingo. Bud Dupree. Ooh, that might be a good one. Bud Dupree on this nasty defense. Bud Dupree would be nice, man. Shaq Barrett is going to get, Shaq Barrett is getting paid for sure. He's getting paid for sure. Sean Redhawa says Kenneth Murray would be an interesting draft pick. Ooh, I'm not mad at that, man. You bring in a Kenneth Murray and put him next to Milano and Edmonds. Shit, I'm not mad at that at all, man. I am not mad at that at all. With these guys getting paid like this, like Bud Dupree, if we bring in a Bud Dupree, he's at $16.6 million. Y'all ready to pay that? Y'all ready for that? I'm just saying, man. Vontez Burfict is available. Jamie Collins would be an interesting one. He's at 30 years of age, but dude, man, he's been lights out of a player. When he went to the Cardinals, he was nice. When he was with the Patriots, he was nice. So that might be a good one. But at 30, you'd have to watch the money you're trying to pay that man. Let me see what else is out there. So the Reggie Ragland is going to be interesting. But I doubt we bring him back. So yeah, man, we're gonna be busy. We're gonna be busy looking and chatting with people. But I'm interested to see where we are gonna spend our money. Look at Preston Brown. Preston Brown is available right now too as well. So to me, Shaquille Barrett, I like. Nigel Bradham would be someone that I would definitely look into bringing in as well. And if we can get Nigel Bradham for under $10 million a year, shit, I'm all on that. I'm all on that. But yeah, man. So that's our show today, folks. So I'm telling you right now, the guys to pay attention to. For me, Cam Lewis, cornerback out of UB. Pay attention to him, man, because he's gonna be pushing for a position and trying to push for some spots there. I'll tell you right now. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer obviously doing their thing. Delshawn and Tyrell Dotson, linebackers, projects. Keep an eye out for that name. Those two names. Voshon Joseph, I'm looking forward to see what he does in year 2. You had all offseason to kind of get bulked up, get conditioned, get healthy. Let's see what you bring forward to us this offseason coming. Felix Dillion, what are you talking about? 19.5 sacks. Who's got 19.5 sacks? I'm just trying to read what y'all saying, man. Thomas Camp says, breaking news. Fred Jackson will return to the Bills as backup running back. Although he could probably do it. But, I mean, he's been, 2 years out of the game? 3 years out of the game? I don't know if it's happening, fellas. Kyle Van Noy. He's a thorn in our side. That Kyle Van Noy is a thorn in people's side, man. Real talk. William Reddick says, I say we draft a linebacker so he can gel with Tremaine and Matt. Keith Murray would be a killer to have, but I wanted to grab Chase Claypool. So that's another thing. I try not to talk too much on the draft too much because we're gonna get into the aspect because I'm gonna start breaking down the 5 top draft picks from each position that could fit for the Bills. So that's another segment that I'm gonna bring towards the Buffalo Fanatics, man. So we're gonna make this thing happen, man. So we are done with the POP. So I've done all positions from quarterback all the way to the safeties, linebackers, and DBs. As for kicker and punter, let me just get that out straight. Kicker, I mean, I don't mind the kicker we got. Well, let's keep our guy. You know what I'm saying? House Money doing his thing. I'll bring House Money back. Corey Bjorquez, on the other hand, he was hot and cold, man. He was up and down. I think we need a little more consistency at the punter position. But you know how McDermott and Bean do. They bring in competition all the time, and if something can happen, they will make the change. So are they ever a lock for kicker and punter? Never. But nonetheless, I mean, one of them just got paid not too long ago, so he may stick around, but they always bring in people, so you just never know these days. You just never know. So ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. We have hit on everything. So be sure if you missed the position group, go back and check out the position group. It'll be interesting to see the names that I've displayed to you guys, how they end up and how they turn out. It'll be super cool. I'm looking forward to it. Free agency is around the corner, so we'll be making videos on free agency. So ladies and gentlemen, it is your guy. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Buffalo Fanatics. If you guys are still tuned in, smash that like button real quick before you leave. Hit that subscribe. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy. And I'm gone.